with me today. That is not the right one. Just a moment here. Yes, Ukraine, we love you. There we go. Welcome. My name is Siddiqi. I have hippie parents from Berkeley, California that studied Sufism. And so the name means the friend that tells the truth. And so I am here to tell you the truth about what is coming in 2023, because I feel like it's only fair that we should all get a heads up about what's coming so we can ride that wave together into 2023, because it's going to be a very, very big, monumental year, one of the biggest ones that we've had yet, probably in our lifetimes, if you're like me and you're in your 30s. No, I just turned 55. So, this is going to be big. So the reason I'm doing this is because this is my act of love and service to you, to the world. It is a way of honoring my own gifts and bringing them out in the world in a way that I can support you. Whoever you are watching this, I can support you. I can cheer you on. I can tell you how great you're doing. And every other episode, except for this one, I take questions. So if you want to write and ask me a question, any question, well, I guess within reason, you can write to DearSiddiqi@gmail.com and I will answer the question. And just make sure that if you want it to be anonymous and for me to not say your name and where you're from, no worries. You can just put, please remain anonymous. But we will tag you and we will email you back when your question is answered in this episode. So just a little word about what I'm doing. Today is my holiday episode. Yay! Thank you, thank you, thank you. I want to thank Julie Cairns of Queenstown, New Zealand, and also sometimes of Australia, and also sometimes of Canada for really supporting me doing this show, and also for giving me these amazing, oh yeah, I have the blur filter on, sorry. Ooh, that looks kind of cool. These amazing flowers. Look at that. So Jules, thanks so much for all your support. Couldn't do this without you. Also want to thank my amazing husband, Justin Cunningham, who set up the mic. It's not a pretty mic, but I think it sounds a lot better than the pretty mic that I had. So I hope this sound is way better today. I'm always the production quality of this show and also raise the vibration of this show so that you can feel the transmission. So let me just tell you a little bit about where this is coming from. I am a channel, I am a medium, I'm an intuitive, I have all the clairs, all clairaudient, clairsentient, all that stuff. But the most important thing is that this information is coming to you not just as words, not just as knowledge, not just as more education. This is coming to you literally as a transmission, a frequency that is meant to help you shift gears from being caught up in the figuring it outness, and helps you to absorb the information like a really dry, parched plant, and helps you get the nutrients and the nourishment of the information, the vibrational frequency, the light codes that are really coming through for all of us right now. And so this is the precursor to that. It is your opportunity to get in alignment with the vibration, the frequency of everything that is happening right now on the planet, so that you can let go of the resistance. You can let go of the struggle. You can let go of the efforting. And so I'm coming to you with UmRay, meaning mother, Ray meaning light. UmRay is my collective consciousness of guides that I am channeling here for you today. And we are going to just segue. And when I say we, it's we, me and the guides. We're going to segue into today's episode, which is 2023, my predictions for 2023, what's coming next, and what you can do to get ready to ride the monumental tsunami of energy that's coming our way, because you've practiced. You are ready for this. We are ready for this. And we are all being called and asked to step onto that big long surfboard and start riding that wave so that we can get to a completely different destination from a completely different vantage point than you've ever had in your life. So I'm just going to take a moment And just retune into that frequency, retune into that Cal. It's so great to have you. Those of you that are watching, I'm also watching your chat. So if you have any comments or any questions as I go along, please write them in the chat on whatever platform you're on, especially Facebook. It streams in and I can see them on the right hand side here. So thanks for asking your questions as we go along. Want to make sure that this really lands for you. Really lands for you, because this is going to be like a breath of fresh air for those of you that 2022 was a pretty monumental structure of challenge. Coming into 2022, we had 2 years of challenge, and now it's time to let that go. Now it's time to just let that go. So here we are in Little Magic. My little female schnoodle is wanting to say hello. Hello, everybody. Okay, Magic, help me bring it in. Yeah. So, my dears, I'm going to jump right in now. So, 2022 is the year where the culmination of the expired version of ourselves was in full play. So anything that you encountered in 2022 that was like, oh, not again, health problems, relationship problems, money problems, feeling lost in your corporate job, feeling lost in your own entrepreneurship, this was all part and parcel of what we were experiencing in 2022 so that we could thoroughly experience that frequency of dissonance, of discord within ourselves. And also that was reflected in the world around us. I'm not going to go too much into this because I know if you're listening, you know what I'm talking about. This kind of cognitive dissonance, the disturbances in the force field of your life, where as hard as you try to get into alignment and snap into alignment, use your practices, your meditation, your walks, your water, your sleep, all the self-care things you did in 2022 still left us feeling like we barely had our head above water. Also, simultaneously, what happened is all the old codes that were corrupt. So all of the genetic coding that you have carried forward from your ancestors, all of the coding of society, the place you live, the places you've lived, all of it came to the top, the surface. It was like everything rising to the top, and you got to see and revisit, for if you choose it to be the last time, all of the functional dissonance that you have experienced throughout your life. I will use myself as an example. So I'm a recovering drug addict and bulimic. And I struggled so much with family patterns, with family dysfunction, with my own dysfunction, with my own really self-destructive is the best way to put it. Self-destructive, self-sabotaging behaviors. In 2022 was the year where it all came to the surface. It's kind of like starting back in 2020, we were sailing along, and then because of the world pandemic, we hit the brakes, and everything that was in the back of the car and under the seats and in the trunk came flying to the front. And we were confronted in a very challenging way with all of the old thoughts. And we're like, why am I thinking this again? Why is this going on? I'm in such a different place. Yes, you are in a different place. And there was still some end of the road, end of the line decisions that you needed to make about the train that you have been riding up till now, and getting off of it once and for all. Cashing in the ticket, tearing up the ticket, and being like, enough, I'm done with this. I'm done with this person. I'm done with this situation. I'm done with this pattern. I'm done with, whatever it is that has been really driving you past 2 years. While we've all had time. It was like the universal timeout. We've all had time to just sit and really be with everything that's happened. We've had this massive planetary time out that also ignited all of our worst fears of being alone, of not being enough, of not being on time, of not getting it, of feeling that if I really step out there, I'm going to be found out as a fraud, feeling like whatever you've done, whatever you've accomplished, it's just not enough. And simultaneously, that's one track. On the other track was this pure exhaustion. So starting back in 2022, all of the exhaustion that we have been running from as a collective, like running as hard as we can, looking over our shoulder, not really catching our breath, all the exhaustion up to us. And we realized that the way that we have been running our lives, or in some cases, the way our lives have been running us, just simply cannot work. And it's not even a matter of willpower anymore. There was massive, massive body breakdowns, lots of body breakdowns. So if you've been experiencing more and more, for me, COVID 4 times, despite being immunized, I won't get into that, but lots of body breakdowns. I had major, major eye surgery on both my eyes. I had both of the lens replaced in my eyes. And for me, that was, the universe, my higher self, my superconscious is asking me to see through a different set of eyes, to see through another lens that is not the lens that I grew up with, lens that I have been seeing the world through up till now, which is so ironic because up till now I've primarily hung my hat on being a photographer and a visibility expert. And the universe is like, that's an expired version of yourself. You got to let that go, which is hard. It's like having it pried out of your hands because this is the part of yourself that you know. This is the part of yourself that you've gotten rewarded for. This is the part of yourself that hang your hat on that title, those acronyms, and say, yeah, that's who I am. I am that. But right now, that is not going to serve you. So leaving this past 2 years, which was a whole cycle, we are being asked to let go of the expired version of ourselves. There's part of it that we're like, whew, thank God, couldn't have done that fast enough. And there's parts of it that the universe is like, please let go of seeing yourself this way. You're so much more than this. And we're like, no, because we worked really hard to get to where we have been. We worked really hard for that label, that title, those accomplishments, to be able to say, I did blah, 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 fill in the blank. And yet, this is the time to just reflect briefly. We don't need to spend a lot of time. And if I'm looking down, it's because I meditated and I channeled and I wrote all these notes for today because I was like, ooh, it's going to be so much to make sense of. And this has been coming through for months now. So in order to make room for that which you have been asking for, and you have been asking for it for lifetimes, you've been asking for your wishes to be fulfilled. And we have to reflect and really reevaluate what we've been asking for. And this is the time to reflect on what we've been asking for, really reevaluate. Is that still what I want? Does that still serve me? Does it serve my purpose? Does it serve my mission? Does it serve the vision that I've been given? And if you're watching this, you have been given a vision. Are you paying attention? That's one thing we're really going to dive into the practice of in 2023 is the practice of really paying attention to the visions and the glimpses, the little snippets of calling that we're being given, and paying more attention at a deeper level and just observing all that's tied up in these visions that we've been given so that we can get to the end faster and we can get further along than we've ever been. But it does require us to right now, in the next little bit of time, and I'm talking less than a month, let's say it's 2 weeks. I'm getting there, it's 2 weeks to reflect and reevaluate. Is this really what I want? So if you're going to do a vision board, amazing. Make sure that before you do a vision board, you do some kind of clearing process, some kind of clearing ritual to make sure that you're not just replaying the same ancestral patterns that have been passed down, that you're not really working from a place of unconscious, subconscious motivation. You're really tuning into the superconscious, your superconscious, that place in you that is connected to the divine, to your higher self, and you're recalibrating from that place. Now, we've been in a forced rest period where we literally couldn't go out and just do business as usual. Thank God. It wasn't going to work anyway. And so this forced period of rest, I want to give you a practice to use in this next 6 weeks. So till the end of January, this is the practice. You get up, you're having a bad day. Instead of powering through, I'm gonna give you permission, if I could wave a magic wand, lip gloss, magic wand. I would say stop. If you're having a bad day, if things are not working out, stop, rest. Go to your resting place. Grab your book. Go for a walk in nature. Magic is available for cuddles. Go cuddle your pets and just rest, because there's still this integration that is wanting and needing to happen for the next 6 weeks. This integration, this upgrade of your circuitry for you to be able to really receive these light codes that are coming through. And I'm certainly not the only one that's talking about the light codes. I've heard snippets of it everywhere. And these light codes are not meant for us to just transcend. That's the old way. The old way is, I'm going to transcend. I'm going to get my karma done in this human form, and I'm going to get the heck out of here and hopefully never come back. I know that was my attitude. So transcend is escapism. It's the old way. This is, you are here at this very precious, amazing time on this planet to descend into human form and fully incarnate. Because why? Because this is actually where all the resources are to make this huge shift in the collective consciousness that is coming to a culmination at the beginning, the first quarter of 2023. And if you don't understand what I'm saying, that's all right. But we have spent the past little while uncovering what our motivations are, uncovering the wound, uncovering the pain, trying to discover who we really are when we're not defining ourselves by woundedness. And we are going into a place right now. This is the best time of the year. This is the best 6 weeks ever to discard those things that no longer serve you. Now, I'm going to give you some very personal examples here to just really land this. By the way, we usually go for 20 minutes. Today, we're going for 30. Just so you know, this will be recorded. I highly encourage you to go back and to listen to this more than once. I myself listen to my own channelings, because there's things that come through that I don't even remember that I said. And when I go back and I listen, I'm like, wow, that is. So just to make sure that you understand this, we are being asked to let go of the expired portions of ourself so that we can step into this new identity. And another one of the Facebook users says, "That's sure so many of my dark emotions and memories have been brought up for me this year." Yes. So I'm going to give you an example, very personal example. I had a family member whose soul portrait, and my first gut instinct was, no, you don't. You just need some really good marketing headshots. You do not need a soul portrait. And this family member was insistent on getting a soul portrait. And I said, now you do understand that a soul portrait is a channeled reading of the DNA of your soul while you are in front of my camera, because I knew that this person had condemned me in the past for channeling. Siddiqi, you shouldn't do that channeling. It's going to lead you to dark places. You're tapping in and tuning into dark energy, and the dark forces are going to come and get you if you keep channeling. Literally, that's what this person said. And so here they are asking me for my most magical, most blessed gift, which is my professional photography combined with my channeling. And there's nothing like it. There's nothing like it that I've ever experienced. I've never been able to find anybody that does it for me the way I'm doing it for people in front of the camera. And so when this person came to me, my first thought was, oh no, I'm not going to offer my most sacred gift to someone that has condemned it in the past. And then, because of my wounding, although I didn't realize it was wounding at the time, and this is what I want you to really, please, please hear this. Some of the decisions that we've made that we've thought were coming from a higher spiritual place, we thought were the compassionate decisions, the loving decisions. I'm going to give them one more chance. Thinking it was coming from like some karmic clearing was really still coming from a place of woundedness. And I can just feel like the heaviness and the hurt in my heart. Because I did it. I did the soul portrait and I brought it. I brought my biggest gifts. I brought all of me. And I did a great job. I did the absolute best I could. And it hurt a little bit in the process to see what I see and to bring it forward and to offer it. Because in offering your most sacred gifts, you are most vulnerable. It is true, you are vulnerable. However, we're going to work in 2023. We're going to work on some foundational principles and practices to protecting yourself while you're out there doing your work in the world, because you can't do your work without a lot of protection, a lot of practices, and some new clearing devices that we're going to be offering up to you as a gift so that you can really discern once and for all, where is this coming from? Where's this motivation coming from? So, for instance, it came back around. This person ended up not liking their soul portrait, not liking what they saw in the images, and it ended up being a thing. But it was great because I realized that I had been throwing pearls before swine. It talks about that in the Bible. I'm not biblical, but it's just about taking your wisdom, taking all of the goodness of who you are, taking your biggest gifts and offering them from a place that you think is higher, but actually ends up being wounded. A wounded place of giving, a wounded place of trying to reach compassion and clearing. So make room for some different choices. 2023 is about making room for different choices and really moving towards something significantly different. So instead of focusing on what you're moving away from, I don't want any more of that. I don't want to experience that. I don't want to be motivated by that. The request from your higher self, from the universe, is to stop looking at the wound and the motivation of the wound and stop trying to fix it. Stop trying to heal it. Let's not even use the word healing in 2023 because healing denotes that something is wrong, that something is broken, that something. Let's call healing wholeness, coming back to the wholeness, the totality of who we are and expressing from that place. So we're moving away from the old expired version of ourselves. We're reflecting, we're reevaluating what it is we really want. We're recalibrating, we're resting so that we can uncover and discover the things that are truly calling us. Again, I said it 2 days ago, to be expressed in us, of us, and through us. So one of the big patterns, and this might not apply to all of you, but one of the big patterns that we are going to be challenged by in 2023 is this recurring theme of using social media, using other people as a barometer for your own success. In other words, comparing and despairing. I'm not far enough along. I should be further along by now. It's not going to work anymore. It's going to hold you back in a big way to use social media or any other platform as a way to measure your own progress and your own success. It's like looking like this at your hand. You don't see that you're looking at your hand. And when you look on social media and you're like, oh, she has it so much more together and she's so much more beautiful and all that stuff, you stop seeing the big picture of what's possible. And so please, please catch yourself. Make it a practice to stop the compare and despair, because that's just more of the woundedness. So we're going to let go of the comparison. We're going to let go of competition with others, but also with ourselves. You have this invisible measuring stick, and you keep saying to yourself, I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet. But you know what? You are. You are exactly where you need to be. You really, truly are. We all are. We are primed. The pump is primed for you to step into this new version of yourself that you have not met yet. And to stop shooting yourself in the foot and start seeing through a new lens, a new filter, or in my case, a new set of eyes, literally a new set of eyes. And so that is where you are going to get to practice compassion for yourself, for others, going back to this gnarly situation of doing a soul portrait for a family member and them wanting a refund and saying it was terrible. And, oh, we showed all these other professional photographers and they said it was terrible, blah, blah, blah. So leaning into compassion for the piece of myself that wanted to offer my sacred gift to someone that wanted it, and simultaneously knowing on an intuitive level they don't know what they're asking for and they really aren't ready for it. So the next part of 2023 is your gifts are not. And I want you to really hear this and really land this. If you hear nothing else today, this is the key piece. 2023 is the year of no. No, thank you. It's the year of no. We are going to get much, much better at setting energetic, physical, verbal, literal boundaries with people in our lives. And that may mean that some of these people, some of these relationships, some of these patterns that you've been wrestling with that just keep getting played out again and again and again, and you keep trying to renegotiate them. And my dear friends, so much compassion. And yet, the places where you've been trying to force and push yourself to be good, to do the right thing, are where you are still being driven by some kind of deep-seated fear. So you're being asked to let go of the expired versions of yourself. You are being asked to make some room for some different choices and lean into trust. Lean into trusting yourself. Lean into trusting your intuition. And this is the time where you stake a claim, really, for the experience that you want to have. And if you don't want to struggle anymore, it's incredibly simple. It's so simple that it could elude you because you're so used to trying really hard and pushing, and I will raise my hand to that too, trying to get approval, trying to get love, trying to say and do the right things, which has led to this universal exhaustion. We are so sick of trying to do the right thing. And when you peel away the layers of the intention behind trying to do the right thing, what you're left with is this core that says, am I lovable? Even if I say no, even if I protect myself, protect my gift, use it more wisely. Am I still going to be okay? Well, the answer is hell yes. Yes, you are. You are going to be great when you start saying no more often. So trust the new inspiration and the new action, because there's a new motivation coming forward. And this new motivation is from your new identity. And it is pure. It is pure of intention. It is pure of heart. It is pure love wanting to express itself in you, of you, and through you. So loving, accepting, compassionate, and having divine reverence for these people. You have literally, I'm trying to find a piece of paper, all the people in your life that are challenges, and for me, it's some family members. You have literally handed them a script and said, can you please read this? Because I need to learn some really important lessons, and I need you to be an a-hole. I need you to make it so obvious that that is no longer going to serve me. I need you to like push me to the brink of falling apart so that I stop doing that exhausting thing. And I let go of that driver to succeed, to please, to prove myself, to get there, wherever there is, to be enough, to be lovable. I stop. And whoever has helped you mark that line in the sand, and it is a line in the sand between 22 and 23, 2022 and 2023, there is a line in the sand. And you need to draw it, my friends. You need to draw the line in the sand, and you need to step over onto the other side. The other side of the beliefs, the other side of the behaviors, the other side of the patterns, the relationships, because it's just only going to bury you in 2022. So let's have a moment of divine reverence for all of the choices that we've made heretofore in this lifetime and any other realm. Let's have a reverence for other people's choices, for our own choices, for who we've been up till now. And again, let's do a ritual. I am going to get off this call and I'm going to do a ritual with my BFF, Julie. We're going to make Persian love cakes. And I'm taking this ring that has several generations of diamonds that I just inherited from my mom. Thanks, Mom. I'm going to do this ritual of cleansing and clearing all of the energy that I have brought forward into this life, letting go of everything that's not mine or that I am complete with, and blessing it and baking it into something sweet. And that is my ritual for 2022 going into 2023. I think that's enough for today. We're a little over time. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you want to get notifications about this show, please let us know. We will add you to our newsletter, and we will make sure that you get the replays of this. We will also make sure that you get the summary of this. We pull out the practices that have been channeled here, and we put them in a beautiful newsletter for you. So if you're interested in that, please put your email below, and we will send that to you. I'm seeing thank you. You know, just a reminder, 2023 is the year of no. No, thank you. Business as usual will not work in 2023. We're going to be going more into this next week, where I talk more specifically about how all these patterns show up in our businesses. For those of you that are entrepreneurs or coaches, consultants, we're going to talk more about how you can use these principles and some techniques that we're going to, because 2023, as much as it's the year of no, thank you, it's also the year of the rise of intuition in business. I'm going to be talking about more of that next week. So if you want to know about how to use your intuition and your instincts for greater levels of success, unprecedented levels of success in 2023, keep tuning in. So great to see you here again. DearSiddiqi at gmail. That's Dear, D-E-A-R, Siddiqi, S-I-D-D-I-Q-I at gmail.com for your questions of anything that we've talked about today, or anything that you have questions about in 2023, business questions, money questions, relationship questions. Write in. Make sure you tell us if you want to remain anonymous. When I channel the answers for you here, we will send you an email back. We will tag you in the post if you've not remained anonymous. And thank you for this very special transmission. And thank you again to Julie for the beautiful flowers, and to my husband for setting up the mic. And I love you so much. Thank you for being for being on this journey with me. It is truly an honor a privilege and a pleasure to bring you these episodes of Dear Siddiqi. I love you so much. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Have a happy holiday, and I will see you next week.